The New York Football Giants find themselves among the Elite Eight going to Philadelphia this Saturday night to play against Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles. An Eagles squad that missed Jalen Hurts for most of the last couple of weeks, excluding Week 18 where he did play. This matchup for me, it's going to come down ultimately to Daniel Jones versus Jalen Hurts. How does Daniel Jones play against this Eagles defense that's much better coached, with better principles? They're going to play more aggressive. They're not going to do the soft coverages with a two safety high defense. It's not even defense, the stuff that Donatello runs. It's soft, it's not aggressive. This Eagles team, they come out hard. And meanwhile, for Jalen Hurts, Dexter Lawrence last week, he was a living nightmare for Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins may still be having nightmares from Dexter Lawrence. And you paired that up with Leonard Williams and that Giants pass rush. These two defenses can get after it. And so it's a total classic NFC East matchup between two teams that are well coached, one squad that probably shouldn't be here, the other of which this year has capitalized on a great opportunity. J. Ray, what gives? What do you think this week? You already picked one upset before with the Jaguars beating Patrick Mahomes, which I thought was a little bit crazy. Do you have the Giants repeating some day ball magic this week for our boy JQ listening?
Okay, so I've picked the Giants to beat them in the pick'em multiple times. I've said that they were going to split, so the Giants can't prove me wrong. Can't do me wrong this time around, right? They can't. They can't. So yeah, I'm going to go with another upset. I'm going to say the Giants are going into Philadelphia and stealing a win. I think it'll be a close one. I know Jalen Hurts was officially cleared. He's off the injury report, so he'll be back in full health. But we still don't know how healthy he really is. We don't know what version of Jalen Hurts we're getting. If we're getting Week 18 Jalen Hurts, Giants have a chance. If we're getting what week was that? Week 15 Jalen Hurts, then we might be talking a different game. But I think the Giants have they've done a good job with their adjustments. I feel like they're not going to be standing in cover one all game like they were in Week 15, getting shredded by AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. That's not going to happen. I think Coach Dable and Wink, they'll learn from their mistakes. I think they come up with a much better game plan than what they did the last two times they played against each other. And beating a team three times in the NFL is no walk in the park. This team knows you better than anybody else. The Cowboys know the Eagles better than anybody else. The Giants know the Eagles better than anybody else. Same with the Commanders. So going into this game, it's hard for me to say that the Giants don't have a chance. And anybody saying that the Giants don't stand a chance hasn't watched football over the last couple of years. Like I said, and I'm not trying to, beat on a dead horse here and continue saying how crazy the playoffs can be. But of all teams that have showed us how crazy the playoffs can be, the Giants are the one. They've gone into Philadelphia in the playoffs and have beaten them. There's just something going on inside of this Giants locker room. They play together. They're not afraid. They're fearless. They're gritty. They're tough. They're not
So are the
afraid of the
Eagles.
Philadelphia fans. They're not afraid for one bit. And if they're going out there with Isaiah Hodgins, Richie James, and Darius Slayton and Daniel Bellinger, they're cool with it. They don't care. They're just going out there to play some hard-nosed football, New York football. And most importantly, they play in a hostile environment themselves. They deal with the New York media every single week. They know tough. They know tough. Philadelphia isn't going to scare them. And Daniel Jones, that quiet leader, he's not going to go out there and he's not going to talk crap. He's not going to, bark back at people. He just goes out there and plays football. He keeps his head down. He does his job, and he doesn't complain. I think Daniel Jones is going to have himself a good day in Philadelphia, but most importantly, I think the defense is going to have to step up big time and contain Jalen Hurts, make him throw the football. You got to eliminate one side of his game and pray that when it comes down to it at the end, you're a field goal away. And I think ultimately, I think the Giants win by 3. I'm going to say 23-20 Giants.
Wow. So if that all is true, J. Ray, for a second year in a row now, each of the two number one seeds will have been eliminated after their bye week. Last year at the Titans, they were a quick house versus the Bengals, and the Packers, of course, we only need to talk about them. This year, the Chiefs and the Eagles, two 14-win squads, both of whom are being picked to be eliminated. That's okay, Mister. Mister, I want to make a big comeback in the pick'em over here. I don't know.
It has nothing to do with that. I've been taking upsets all year long.
That's why I
All year
found
long.
yourself in second place.
Wow. All
Um,
right, Brandon.
yo,
No, I was saying, do your thing, bro.
oh, um, so Justin said a lot of good things, right? But I just feel, and I do feel like it can be a close game. Uh, but for me, the way I look at this game, and I feel like I gave a little bit of a preview last episode of how I feel, is that, I mean, the Eagles and the 49ers are 1A, 1B in terms of best personnel in the league. You look at the regular season, the Eagles sweep the Giants. The last week was close. The bench players were playing for the Giants, so Jalen just come back from an injury. The game where the starters were playing, the Eagles blew them out. Now, like Justin said, I agree with him. And I think not just in football, I think in any sport, it's tough to beat somebody 3 different times. What recently in mixed martial arts, Kayla Harrison, undefeated women's goddamn it, lightweight champion in PFL. She beat a girl, Pacheco, I believe her last name was. I'm blanking on her first name. Beat Pacheco twice before, dominant fashion, and then they fought for a third time, and she lost by a decision. And that was Kayla Harrison's first loss. So just anything can happen, right? And I agree with Justin on that. It's just when I look at this, and because even in that matchup, Kayla, I picked Kayla to win that fight. Because you just at the end of the day, you look at the talent, you look at the resume, and you just say, this team's got to get it done, and they should get it done. And that's why I look at it and I say, for the Giants, it's been a great season. You've overachieved. Nobody thought you were in that. That's not a slight. That's a very good compliment of being overachievers. But the clock will strike midnight on the New York Football Giants, and this Cinderella story will end. It's just how it should be. I agree. I think it can be a close first half. I would not be surprised if the Giants are leading, similar to Seattle, San Francisco.
Yeah.
But like San Francisco and Seattle, I believe in the second half, the Eagles are going to get it together, and they're going to feel like the pressure's coming, and I think they're going to I just blanked on what I was going to say.
They're gonna smack the Giants. Is what you're gonna say?
No, help me out here. There's a word for it. Like when that pressure comes, I feel like they're going to show up and show out for that pressure. So when they're down like that, I think in the second half, and I think the talent is just going to tsunami the New York Football Giants, and I just think it's going to end. But like I agree with Justin. Well, no, I don't even think Justin. But no, you did bring it up, the Jalen Hurts injury. You did. That's the biggest question in this game, right? I think we can all agree on that. The biggest question is Jalen Hurts' throwing shoulder, because we all got to remember it is his throwing shoulder that's injured. So how is Jalen going to perform? And also not even just the injury. This is what I was asking for all season, right? Remember? I was like, he's doing it in the regular season, and I love it. He's proved a lot of people wrong, but now the playoffs are coming. And you got to do it in the playoffs. I want to see it late in the season. So this is time, if he wants to even shut even more people up, this is the time to do it. So I got the Philadelphia Eagles. I think it's going to be a close. Justin, what was the score of your game? You said 23-20?
Yeah.
23-20. I think I like that score. I'm going to go 24-21 Philadelphia Eagles.
You can know what a team is gonna do, and that's still not going to matter if they're much better. The last time these two teams played, for the Giants, no Xavier McKinney or Dory Jackson. Those two guys played a pretty big role in last week's win versus the Vikings. That being said, off IR for the Eagles are CJ Gardner-Johnson and Robert Quinn. Robert Quinn's still on the injury report. We'll see if he returns. For this Eagles team, there are too many fresh bodies on the edge, and there are too many good corners.
About Robert Quinn, he did play in Week 18, so I'm pretty sure he's gonna be playing.
That's another edge, another piece, another movable part. So you look at Darius Slay, James Bradbury, an opportunistic defense. Daniel Jones has to play a perfect game of football to win. A perfect game. And I don't see that happening. This year, he just cut down the turnovers, only 3 fumbles to 5 picks. And that improvement has taken them a long way as an offense. But in this game, not only do you have to limit the turnovers, but you gotta hit the kill shot. I don't think Daniel Jones can hit the kill shot. Most Giant fans won't want to admit it. They're optimistic on DJ, but we haven't seen him hit the kill shot all year. Against this Eagles defense, you can hit a couple of first downs, move the ball some, but Jalen Hurts, even with that shoulder injury, he has too many dynamic weapons on the outside. We're talking A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, Dallas Goedert, Miles Sanders. The Giants' offense has had itself a very surprising year. The fact they're above average speaks to the coaching. But at some point in the postseason, talent and a complete roster outdoes knowing what the other team is going to do. You can know what I'm going to do, but if I'm going to kick you for 5 or 6 rounds, it does not matter in a boxing ring. In football, it's the same thing. You can be prepared. You can be well coached. For Brian Dable, that's only going to take you so far, I'm afraid. So I had the Eagles beating down the Giants in this matchup, 34-17. It's been a great year for New York. I had them winning last week against the Vikings because the Vikings are a poorly coached team. To have the Eagles losing this game to me is almost disrespectful to the season they have had. And I agree with you, Brandman. Jalen Hurts has to play a good game. He has to show that I may be the regular season MVP candidate. Now in the postseason, it's time for me to earn my money. This is the game where Jalen Hurts shows out, and I believe has multiple touchdowns, 300 yards. For this Giants defense, man, this is going to be one of the toughest matchups all season long.
Would you have said the same thing about the 16-0 Patriots?
You know, Justin, I think it's a little bit different.
No. I'm gonna keep asking. Would you have said the same thing about the Patriots in their second Super Bowl against the Giants? Would you have said the same thing about the Denver Broncos going
what
up
I say
against
about
the
Daniel
Seahawks in the Super
Jones?
Bowl?
Daniel Jones can't hit the kill shot.
About all these other games where teams were upsetted in the playoffs? Would you have said that? No, it's not all about, the Eagles are the far more talented team. But we've seen even more talented teams get ousted from the playoffs before a Super Bowl.
Lane Johnson is questionable. But when you look at this Eagles offensive line, it is, if not the best in football, it's the best offensive line left right now in the postseason. So I love Dexter Lawrence. This Giants pass rush is special. We don't even know if Azeez Ojulari is going to play. Yeah. He's questionable. And so if you don't have the horses on defense, buddy, I don't know what to tell you. But you're not going to win this game, let alone make you competitive if you're without your top edge. Man.